Title: The Missing Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. INTRO. Scene 1. A flight that vanished March 8, 2014. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 takes off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 12:41 a.m. local time. Destination: Beijing, China. A Boeing 777-200ER. 239 people on board. Pilots, crew, families, tourists, students. At first, everything seems normal, but within hours, it becomes one of the greatest aviation mysteries in history. At 1:07 a.m., MH370 sends its last ACARS transmission, routine data sent from the aircraft's computer systems. 1:19 a.m., a chilling final transmission from the cockpit. Goodnight Malaysian 370. Then silence. At 1:21 a.m., MH370 vanishes from civilian radar. The transponder is turned off. No more pings. No distress call. No emergency. Just gone. What follows is an investigation spanning continents, costing hundreds of millions of dollars and triggering countless conspiracy theories. But what really happened to MH370? Scene 2, The Turn. Military radar shows something bizarre. Instead of continuing northeast toward Beijing, the aircraft makes a sharp left turn. It veers west, flies back across the Malay Peninsula, then northwest up the Strait of Malacca. Why? There was no weather event, no mechanical failure, nothing to justify the turn. The change in course wasn't just a slight detour. It was drastic, deliberate. From there, it disappears again from military radar, somewhere over the Andaman Sea. And that's where the world loses MH370. Scene 3. A worldwide search begins. Search and rescue teams scramble. First, they look in the South China Sea. Logical, that's where the plane should have been. But nothing is found. No wreckage, no oil slick, not even a floating life jacket. Then, using satellite pings from Inmarsat, investigators discover something shocking. The plane continued flying for 7 more hours. 7 hours. It follows an arc, now known as the Seventh Arcade, a possible crash site deep in the southern Indian Ocean. That's where the search heads next. Vast, remote, treacherous. Ships, planes, and drones scour the ocean. At its peak, 26 countries are involved. Still no wreckage. It's as if MH370 vanished into thin air. Scene 4. Who was flying the plane? Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, 53 years old. A seasoned pilot. Over 18,000 flight hours. First Officer Farik Abdul Hamid, just 27, flying his final training flight. Both with clean records. No signs of radicalism. No known grievances. But then investigators find something disturbing. On Zahari's home flight simulator, there's a flight path eerily similar to MH370's final trajectory, deep into the southern Indian Ocean. Was it practice or coincidence? Authorities say it proves nothing. Others aren't so sure. Scene 5. Clues from the ocean. Over a year later, a breakthrough. July 29, 2015. A flaperon, part of a Boeing 777's wing, washes up on Réunion Island. It's confirmed. From MH370, it's the first piece of physical evidence. Hope reignites. In the following months, more fragments appear. In Madagascar, Mozambique, Tanzania. But the main wreckage? Still missing. Why are only small parts showing up? Did the plane break up in the air? Was it a controlled ditching? Or something else? Scene 6, the suicide theory. Some experts believe Zahari hijacked his own plane. They claim the sharp turn, the altitude changes, the long calculated flight path, all point to a deliberate act. One theory says he depressurized the cabin, put everyone to sleep, then flew alone until the fuel ran out. Others call it baseless speculation. His family denies any wrongdoing. They call Zahari a kind, generous man, a patriot, yet the simulator data, the route, the silence. The evidence is circumstantial, but chilling. Scene 7, the political storm. Malaysia faces heavy criticism, delayed responses, Conflicting statements. Lack of transparency. Families demand answers. Protests erupt outside government buildings. Some accuse officials of hiding something. Information. Radar data. Satellite feeds. Why did it take 4 hours to launch a search? Why weren't military radars checked sooner? Why did it take a week to admit the plane turned west? In the fog of confusion, suspicion grows. Scene 8. The Russian hijack theory. A bold new theory emerges. Some analysts suggest Russian operatives hijacked the plane, took it north, landed it in Kazakhstan. The evidence? A combination of satellite data anomalies and gaps in radar coverage over Central Asia. Supporters say the hijackers could have disabled satellite pings, then faked the arc, but skeptics dismiss it. Too complex, too risky. Still, it adds fuel to the mystery. Scene 9. The U.S. military base theory. Another wild theory. MH370 was shot down by mistake. By the U.S., near Diego Garcia, a secretive military base in the Indian Ocean. Why? Maybe it was veering off course. Maybe it posed a threat. But there's no hard evidence. And the U.S. denies it completely. Yet, families claim their loved ones' phones kept ringing days after the crash. Strange. Unexplained. Scene 10. The final moments, or not? In 2018, a private company called Ocean Infinity begins a new search. Using state-of-the-art underwater drones, they comb thousands of square kilometers. But again, no wreckage, no black box, no answers. In 2024, they propose a new search using updated drift models, improved sonar tech, a refined crash zone. Still waiting for government approval. But something else surfaces. A satellite image. Grainy. Ambiguous. A large object on the seafloor. Shaped like a fuselage. Could it be? Scene 11. The twist. Leaked documents. A whistleblower releases classified Malaysian documents. Radar data. Communications logs. Satellite phone metadata. They reveal something shocking. MH370 made multiple altitude changes, dropping to 12,000 feet, then climbing again. Why? To avoid radar detection? To trigger decompression? Or was someone manually flying, adjusting, staying one step ahead? Also revealed, military radar saw MH370 longer than reported, up to 2:22 a.m., over an hour after the transponder went dark. This contradicts official timelines. Why was this hidden? Scene 12. The families fight. Years pass. Families don't give up. They hold vigils, raise funds, hire private investigators. Some believe their loved ones are still alive, hidden, held somewhere. Others just want wreckage, closure. In Malaysia, a mother clutches her daughter's last voicemail. "I'll see you in the morning." She never came back. Scene 13. Echoes in the deep. In early 2025, an autonomous sub detects strange metallic echoes deep in the ocean. They're rhythmic, repeating, almost artificial. Is it wreckage? A black box? Or something else? Oceanographers debate. No consensus. The sub dives again, and again, until one day it sends back sonar data. An object, long hollow, buried under silt, but the sub malfunctions, loses signal, and the object remains untouched. Scene 14, the cliffhanger. Now breaking news. A deep-sea robot has located a structure. Not natural, not rock, 3 meters wide, 60 meters long. Possibly a fuselage, but it's too deep for divers. A new mission is planned, scheduled in 3 weeks. The world watches. Waits. Is this it? Is MH370 finally found? Or is it another cruel false lead? As the team prepares, families hold their breath. The mystery of MH370 may be closer to ending, or it might just be beginning. To be continued. Do well to subscribe to this channel for more mysterious stories.